Yes, please.
Welcome to the computer security seminar from Purdue University. Our speaker today is Ragib Hasan from the University of Illinois. He will speak on fake Picassos, tampered history, and digital forgery, protecting the genealogy of bits with secure provenance. Ragib.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ragib Hasan, and I apologize for the really long talk title, but I found out that having a fun talk title always catches the interest of the paper reviewers as well as the audience. Anyway, I'm from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and my advisor is Professor Marianne Winslet of Illinois, and I'm also co-advised by Professor Radu Sawen of Stony Brook, who incidentally is an alumnus of Purdue as well as CERIAS. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about how we can protect the history of data. But before we go on to the details, let's first play a game. The name of the game is Can You Spot the Fake? And you will be playing the game. So here on this screen you can see two paintings. One of them is a genuine Picasso worth millions and millions of dollars. The other one is a complete fake. Your task here as the player is to find out which one is the fake Picasso and which one is the real. Now, I'm not really an art connoisseur, so whenever I look at these paintings, all I see is two women with horribly contorted faces suffering some intense pain. But I hope here someone among you will be an art connoisseur and will be able to understand the inner beauty of the painting. So let's begin. How many of you think that the one on the left, that is my left, is the fake one? How many? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And how many things the one on this one, the one on your right, is the fake one? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fortunately, you picked the wrong answer because the one on the left of the screen is one of the most expensive paintings in the world. It's called Dora Maar, our cat, which means Dora Maar, which was Picasso's friend, and her cat. If you look closely, you'll see the small cat on her right shoulder here. And in 2006, this was sold an auction for $101 million. The one on the right, unfortunately, is a complete fake. It was listed in eBay, and promptly eBay removed this listing. It's worth nothing. So now the question is, if you have, even in this economy, if you have millions of dollars available to buy paintings, how do you know that you are not buying the real but buying a fake? How do you know that? So there are many techniques of authenticating art, but among the most commonly used ones, there is the use of provenance records. So what exactly is provenance? The provenance record of an object is a record of the lineage of the object, where the object came from, how it was created, how it was transferred, all the way to the current owner. By looking at this history of art, paintings, and other artifacts, people can make an informed decision about whether they can trust that this is genuine. And this is a widely used concept in art, archaeology, and archives. It's even called the first fundamental principle of archiving. And here you see yet another real painting from Picasso. It's in the Museum of Modern Art. And if you go to their website, you can just pick up this, the provenance record of this painting, which shows when Picasso painted it and how it was sold and bought and sold and exhibited all the way up to the current owner, the Museum of Modern Art. Here's another example of the provenance of a book. Here's a Bible, and as this Bible changed hands, people put their signature names on the left side of the page. So at the end of the day, we ended up with a nice chronological sequence of the owners of this Bible. From the world of physical artifacts, let's now move back to the digital world, the world we as computer scientists live in. And in the digital world, our life is now totally dependent on the use of digital data. You use email, you get documents from others, your documents are stored in databases, passed around the halfway across the globe, and so on. And today, data has also become our most important asset. Money is not important, data. And the use of data is now most important for us as individuals as well as companies. And now the difference with the past is that now that we have all this data in electronic form, this gets passed along a lot. So data is generated by different people, processed by different people, and transmitted between different systems and different storage places. And now, unlike physical storage of data or physical methods of storing data, such as clay tablets or paper or papyrus, things are different now. Because things are stored digitally, now it's really easy for people to change or tamper with a large amount of data within a very short time. In the past, it would be difficult for a single forger to go into an archive and modify thousands of files within just 10 minutes. But now, because they can issue just a query to a database or send a script, run a script, they can modify a large amount of data, large volume of data within a very short time. So in this highly distributed world of data, how do we know that the data we get is correct and it came from the correct persons and it came through the correct channels? How do we trust the data we get from others? So this is the problem, and one nice solution would be to know the history of the data. If we could know how the data was created, processed, transmitted, if you can know the entire life cycle of data, then we can make an informed decision about whether we can trust it or not. That's why we need provenance, data provenance, and provenance which records the entire life history of data. Now, what exactly is data provenance? People have defined it in a lot of different ways. There's a nice survey on provenance by Yokesh Simhan, and there he shows the different types of definitions of data provenance. It has been defined as the origin or the lineage of the data, where the data originated from. And then it has also been defined as the transformation that create data at each stage of its life. And people have also defined it in terms of workflows, the workflow stages that process data. And finally, the derivation history of a value, derivation history of a data object from original value to the final one. What's the use of provenance these days? Well, in the past, provenance used to be used by scientists for different purposes. And even today, scientists are the biggest consumers of provenance. And they use provenance for a number of different purposes. A big concern among scientists is the source of their data, because today's world, scientists collaborate a lot and they exchange data. Now, the output you generate from an experiment would depend on the quality of your input. So that's why it's important to know the source of the data set you are using. And then it can also serve as a replication recipe. If you want to repeat the experiment, then if the final result contained a recipe of how it was created, then you can recreate the experiment. It also can be used for attribution, so that you can know that which person wrote a particular line in a database, or maybe in an article in Wikipedia, and so on. And finally, this has been more increasingly used for audit trails. So if you have voting, electronic voting, or if you have electronic records of business and financial transactions, then provenance, there's the history of that documents is being used to keep or to help with auditing at a later time. So here's an awfully big chart with really small fonts that will annoy you, but you don't have to read the entire chart. Just look at the top line if it's visible there, I hope.